I'd like to share with you an awesome story that I had with a new 29-year-old woman who was a client of mine. And it's my hope that what I shared with her is a help to you the way it was a blessing to her. 29, single, no children, has an MBA from a very prestigious university, great career, doing well, very attractive. And that's important in the context of the story because she said, Doc, I'm reaching out to you because I'm having a hard time dating. And I'm having a hard time just really managing all of the options that I have. And and I started laughing. She said, why are you laughing? I said, because, people come to me for this dating advice, and it's kind of funny in many regards. And sometimes the answers are obvious to me. She said, what do you mean? I said, let's just walk through it. I said, so you're having trouble with your options, correct? She said, yeah. I said, what kind of car do you drive? She said, what? I said, what kind of car do you drive? She said, an Acura. I said, cool. I said, what's your dream car? She said, and paused and thought and said, well, I'd love to have a Bentley. I said, great. Bentley's a very nice car. I know some people who have them. I said, cool. I said, so how often do you see Acuras? She thought about it. She said, pretty regularly. She said, you drive out down the highway around the neighborhood, you'll see an Acura. I said, okay. I said, how often do you see Bentleys? She said, it depends on what city you live in. I said, it doesn't matter what city you live in. How often do you see Bentleys? She said, not as often as you see Acuras. I said, that's a great answer. I said, so do you see them a lot or do you see them a little? She said, you see them a little. I said, why? She said, because they're harder to get. I said, why? She said, because they cost more. I said to her, I said, just because you have options does not mean your value is where you want it to be. Seeing more of something decreases the value of what you see. She paused. She smiled. She said, I know where you're going with this. I said, I'm going to just take it a step further. I said, when you're not always in people's face, when you're not always in people's DMs or anything else, your attractiveness hits different when you're exclusive like the Bentley and not available like an Acura. She said, oh. She said, so I take it you have a problem with me going on all these dates. I said, I do. I said, I'm not a believer or proponent of this idea of date them all, because when you date them all, it's like being seen as an Acura on a day-to-day basis. And the reality of the matter is you can check all of these boxes and have everything going for you. You could have worked on those 5 areas of healing and have all of that going for you. That's great. But at the end of the day, anything that is too accessible eventually decreases its value much faster than the thing that is not as accessible or not available. I said, and let's even take it a step further. I said, regardless of the car, when you test drive cars, do you think the value decreases with the number of test drives that it receives? She said, no. She said, I don't think so. She said, typically when a person test drives a car, they might put 10, 20 miles on it. I said, perfect. So you don't think that if a person test drives a car, they don't put miles on the car and it doesn't increase, or rather it doesn't increase the value or decrease the value of the car, correct? She said, no, not really. I said, perfect. I said, so let's say 100 people test drive the Acura that you have when it was brand new, 100 people, and all of them put 20 miles on the car after they've test driven it. I said, what's 100 times 20? She started laughing. I said, no, answer. She said 2,000. I said, if my math is correct, 100 times 20 is 2,000. If 100 people test drive the car and put 20 miles on the car per driver, that car, brand new car, starts off when an owner purchases it with 2,000 miles minimum, correct? She said, yeah. I said, how can you say that that car has as much value as an Acura that comes fresh off the lot that maybe has 20 miles? She started laughing. She said, Doc, you got a point. I said, and it's even more so the case if you've got a Bentley. So because the reality of the matter is people don't test drive Bentleys unless they pass through certain checks, which means you can't even sit in the car until you go through certain checks to even test drive it. I said, what does that mean to you? She said, I get exactly where you're going. I said, the word I want you to remember is this. It is hard to be accessible and high value at the same time. You've got to choose one. The fact of the matter is, people think that being out there and going on all of these dates and being all in front of people, even if they've got all of these great credentials and qualifications, they think that's such a wonderful thing. But I'm here to tell you, anything that people can easily get their hands on will quickly diminish in value. But anything that people have a hard time getting their hands on will always be able to maintain its value if it had value in the first place. It's the simple law of supply and demand. And so you've got to treat your dating life the same way. When you're untouchable, when you're hard to touch, when you're easy to see, but hard to touch. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way, but I mean that in being a purely selective and understanding your value, what you bring to the table. When you're easy to see and hard to touch, your value will always hit different. I hope this makes sense. If it did, type church in the comments with 3 R's. And then remember, you've got 2 jobs. 1, be better today than what you were yesterday. And 2, don't forget what I told you. What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Zeb. Listen, I've been dying to make this announcement for a very long time now, and I'm pleased to say that Inspire Nation has officially launched. Yes, we finally got a Facebook and YouTube community group where we're going to have exclusive content, exclusive shorts, exclusive discussion prompts, where we're going to engage with other people literally around the world who are on the same healing journey that we're on. I need you to go find these pages right now on Facebook and YouTube, Inspire Nation, follow the page, join the group, introduce yourself, and be prepared to link up with literally thousands of people around the world who are on the same healing journey, who are looking for the same resources, and who want to also be surrounded with other like-minded individuals who are growing in the same direction as you are. I'm so excited about this because it's the beginning of some great things I can't talk about right now. Listen, you got 2 jobs. 1, be better today than what you were yesterday. And 2, don't forget what I told you.